Welcome back to Live for Love TV. Today's the third day of the 10th month of the 23rd year inside the 21st century. Hope everyone's doing extremely well out there. I'd like to thank all of the Live for Love TV subscribers and viewers that stuck with Live for Love TV. And I know if you've stuck with Live for Love TV, you're stuck because we do it a little bit different than everybody else. In the last video, I talked about the killing of TUPAC Shakur 27 years ago. I may have said 25, but it was 27 years ago. And they have now arrested a man by the name of KEEFIE. Now, on my video, I got about as much views as I deserved. Hear me good. If you get 1 or 2 views on your video, that's what you deserve. If you get 100,000 views, that's what you deserve. I will never gripe, jealous of anybody who gets more views than me. But I'm really happy for my viewers that stick with me, that they can hear something different. And as time goes on, you'll be vindicated, trust me, just like I am. On the last video with this TUPAC Shakur video, I'm the only person that's not caught up so much as to care who killed TUPAC Shakur. I talked about KEEFIE because he's been arrested, but I also said it's a game that these guys are playing. It's a game that's played in the way that KEEFIE, Suge, and the crew. That's just a street life. That was the life they live. They're playing the game. They play it a certain way. Stay out of it. If you're not in that game, just stay out of it. It's nothing to do with you in that way. But it seems that so many people on the internet are being played now. KEEFIE should go to prison. KEEFIE should this. P Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever his name is, he's been brought into it. All this kind of stuff. And as far as I'm concerned, all of these big news outlets that are playing the game, the police themselves are playing every one of us like we're a fiddle in an orchestra. They're playing us, and they play us every time just to get what their result that they want, which is to get KEEFIE banged up and thrown away. And we're playing along with it. When I say I don't care who killed TUPAC Shakur, that doesn't mean I don't care about TUPAC Shakur. If you get that from what I'm saying, then you shouldn't even be watching this channel. To say you don't care who was the actual shooter, and then to jump to the next thing and saying I don't care about TUPAC Shakur, it means you're not on the level that you should even be on this channel. You need to take a left or a right and find your way somewhere else. I cared about TUPAC Shakur because he had an impact on the whole world, especially on the black world. That can't be denied. Remember, you're talking to someone, a roots and culture. You're listening, to someone who's a roots and culture person, who is a dancehall person, who grew up in that environment, who listened to that. Hip hop, I'd heard some of the old, Mel Kim and Salt and Peppers, and I'd heard some of the Run DMC. I've heard some of these guys over the years, but none of them actually made me listen to hip hop to any degree before TUPAC came on the scene. Not a single person. I don't care if it's NWA, Ice-T, none of them. To me, it's just noise. When he came on the scene, for some reason, he was able to get a man like me to actually move over and listen to him. And I think that there's something that these guys have. I think it's spiritual, that some of these artists have, that when you listen to them when they're dead, and you listen to their back to their records, it sounds like they're alive. And when you listen to them when they're alive, it sounds like they've passed on. How they do that, what sort of depth of spirituality some people have, I don't know. Garnet Silk, Bob Marley, there's a few of them out there that's always been able to do this. That's why people keep talking about them and keep, dragging them, their character ups. But anyway, back to why I'm talking about this thing again. Nobody said that I don't care. They don't care about who killed, and I'm the one that said it, and I'm gonna keep saying it. And I don't care because it's a lifestyle that really is not for me or you to be involved in. If we're not in that lifestyle, we're not to be involved with. And I feel even more vindicated now because the great TMZ, the blabbermouth TMZ that goes around, the massive, go around interviewing everybody on every situation when it comes, especially when it comes to black people. I've actually interviewed Suge Knight in prison and told him that KEEFIE's been banged up and he's been NFK. And Suge Knight was almost talking like he was me. He don't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hear it. KEEFIE should not be arrested. He said free KEEFIE. It wasn't Orlando Anderson. He'd never testify. He gave you everything I said in the last video, that's how the game is played. That's what they do. Tupac Shakur himself, I told you, if he was alive, would not have KEEFIE D banged up, would not have KEEFIE D's name mentioned, and he wouldn't mention it. In fact, the policeman that actually was speaking to Tupac after he'd been shot, Tupac told him, when he asked him who did it, he said, F you. That's the way the game is played. So why is everybody getting tied up on, hooked up on who did it? What's that all about? Look how many people have died in the last 27 years in all sorts of ways, including in gang-related things. Who cares? We don't care who's done it. It's happened. We care about the person that's died, but we don't care about who's done it. But for some reason, everybody's so being... And I don't think people care as much about who killed Tupac as they think they do. They're just being played. They don't even realize they're being played. If this man says he was there, and if this man says he was in the car, and if this man says that he was part of it, then so be it. That's what it is. Who cares? That's it. We've heard it. Story over. Done. Move on. Next thing. Why are people getting so hepped up about it? You've got to remember that we've been given a story. We've been given a story that Tupac, along with Suge, and God knows how many of them, a death row, beat down a guy. Beat him down. Physically beat him down. An unarmed guy. Beat him down. And we see that on the camera. And only the security in the environment saved that guy's life. As he'd have been kicked, his back would have been kicked right through and he would have been killed. Probably been beaten to death. Now, if that did happen in that world, and then he came back with his uncle, who could blame them? I couldn't blame them. That's the world they live in. What do you think would have happened to anybody who did the exact same thing to Tupac Shakur? If Tupac Shakur was walking through that place and 10 or 15 men beat the hell out of him, do you think somebody wouldn't lose their life over that? That's the way the game is played. Don't get yourself caught up. Don't get yourself all hyped up. Don't let all these YouTube sensation people tell you, oh, KEEFIE D, P Diddy, da-da-da. Yeah, hits are made. This is the way the game is, as I said, this is the way the game is played. You're not part of it. You don't know anything about this game. You don't know how it rolls. Nobody in that circle is supposed to talk. Even the man who's talking, the KEEFIE D, he's snitching on himself. He's not snitching on anybody else who's alive. He's snitching on himself. So if he wants to snitch on himself, let him snitch on himself. But don't let the police get you caught up 27 years late to say he needs to go to prison. If Suge Knight, and I say Suge Knight, I don't care what anybody thinks about Suge Knight. Suge Knight is Tupac's ride or die brethren. You are not his ride or die brethren. He wasn't with you when he died. He wasn't rolling with you, all you people who think you love him, and that, oh, I'm Tupac this, and Tupac was my brethren because he said a few words to me and we used to roll her. He rolled with this guy constantly and actually died by his side. So regardless of whatever you think, unless you think Tupac had no idea about himself whatsoever, this is the guy he rolled. And if that guy will sell you that he doesn't want, he wants a KEEFIE D freed and doesn't want KEEFIE D fingered and refuses to tell you who did it, why are everybody so hyped up? Why are you so hyped up about who did it? He cares about Tupac, but he doesn't care about who killed Tupac because it's gone. That's the way the game is played. I care about Tupac, but it's 27 years later. I don't care who did it. Doesn't matter to me. If KEEFIE D did it, if Orlando, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I certainly wouldn't be calling for anybody to be put in prison over this after 27 years, especially since I know if it had happened the other way around, that KEEFIE D would be a dead man, or Orlando would have been dead man if he had been part of the crew that attacked Tupac. They'd have been dead. So since I know that, I don't get caught up. I don't let people play me like a fiddle. We have our own views. We try to give you a different perspective, and we know that these guys are going to keep this story rolling until they get the court case that they want and get the OJ syndrome and get all of that. That's what they're going to do. They're going to give you that OJ feeling like, no, we should all be hyped up and, oh, it's Tupac and he should never have been killed. Believe me, the world and the life that he was living, it was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time. Yeah, and I mean, everybody could see that. And that's no disrespect to Tupac. That's just the way the game is played. Orlando Anderson, gone. Only a matter of time. Biggie Smalls, gone. Only a matter of time. Snoop took a different direction. Started rapping more about love and, you know, money and raving and clubbing and girls and stuff. He came out of the deaf. He came out of that deaf kind of syndrome, you know, life or death DJing. Once he came out of that, you see, look how long he's lived. Look how he's gone. Pulled back, sensible. Anyway, that's it for me. Live for Love TV. Take care. Let's hear your views. Let's hear your comments.
This is Live for Love TV. Live for Love TV. Yes, I am. step more. How good it is to reach the
Live for Love TV.
This is Live for Love TV.